The Little Mermaid is back on the big screen, and here are some fun facts to know before you go to make seeing it even sweeter. And bonus points if you can keep track of how many musicals or movie musicals I reference.
Let's take a quick trip through history to see the evolution of this story. The story was originally published in 1837 and was written by famous children's author Hans Christian Andersen, who also penned a number of famous stories including The Ugly Duckling and The Princess and the Pea. Side note, both of these stories also got turned into musicals. Can you name them? Let me know in the comments. While Andersen was influenced by folklore of merfolk, the plot itself is completely original. This version also differs significantly from the Disney telling we know today. Most notably, The Little Mermaid is driven by a desire to attain an immortal soul, rather than live on land with her prince. And in the end of the original story, the prince marries someone else. The Little Mermaid sacrifices herself to spare the prince, and she becomes immortal as sea foam. Fast forward to the 1930s and 40s, and Disney considered using this story as the basis for a segment in a feature of Andersen Tales, but the project was scrapped. However, the concept art created by Kane Nielsen was used as inspiration and storyboards over 40 years later for the animated movie. That brings us to 1989 when Disney's animated classic came out, marking the start of the Disney Renaissance. This also marked Disney's first return to the fairy tale animated feature since 1959 with Sleeping Beauty, and a return to a story of a questing young woman at odds with an evil older woman. Yet, while it was a return to several key Disney storytelling elements, it also marked some big changes. It was the last Disney movie to use hand-painted cells, including approximately 1 million hand-painted bubbles, and it was the first to work with Pixar and use CAPS, Computer Animation Production System, which stitched together hand drawings and digital coloration for one of the scenes in the movie. However, just like in the 1930s, the project was almost nixed. This time because it was coming on the heels of Splash 2, which also centers around a mermaid, and Katzenberg didn't want to be working on multiple mermaid projects. However, as we know, they ultimately decided to proceed with the project. They wanted Broadway musical-style storytelling, and for that, they turned to the authors of the off-Broadway hit Little Shop of Horrors, Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Shortly before the movie was made, Ashman was directing a Broadway musical he had written called Smile. In it, he worked with a young actress by the name of Jodie Benson, who actually sang a song entitled Disneyland. Unfortunately, the show was considered a flop, playing only 48 performances. However, if the show had been a success, Benson may never have auditioned for or landed the iconic role of Ariel. And of course, then we would never have gotten to hear her sing that timeless song, Part of Your World, which was almost cut from the movie. Before the song had finished being animated, it did poorly with audiences at an early screening, and so execs wanted to cut it because they thought it was slowing down the momentum of the story. But directors reminded them that the first Disney feature, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, was successful with a similar I Want song. Someday my prince will come. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow became a huge success after almost being cut from the MGM classic The Wizard of Oz. They agreed to screen the song again after it was fully animated, and it received a much better reception from audiences. Another fun fact about Part of Your World is that we have footage of Ashman working with Benson to record the song. He asks her to keep it intimate because Ariel is in a small enclosed space when she sings the song. He suggests that they dim the lights in the studio while she records. He asks her to have those big emotions, but to let them stay more beneath the surface, rather than giving a belty performance. He whispers something to her, and Benson has said that he is asking her to stop, quote-unquote, singing the song, because he didn't want it to be pretty, he wanted it to be a monologue set to music. Additionally, we can also thank Howard Ashman for the beloved character of Sebastian, as it was his idea to change him from an English butler to the friendly Jamaican crab that we know today. Another fun fact about the animated film is that Ursula, who is argued to be a squid rather than an octopus having 6 tentacles instead of 8, was inspired by actor and famous drag queen Divine. Yes, the same Divine who played Edna Turnblad in the 1988 movie of Hairspray, which inspired the Broadway musical of the same name. All in all, the animated movie changed the tides for Disney films. While they had won the Oscar for Best Song in 1941, 1947, and 1964, they hit a dry spell for over 2 decades, until 1989, when Under the Sea won Best Original Song, and ushered in a string of wins in the following years. The Little Mermaid also became a catalyst to turn other Disney movies into musicals. Newsies was originally supposed to be a drama, but with the success of The Little Mermaid, Katzenberg requested that Newsies be changed to a musical. That brings us to 2007, when The Little Mermaid arrived on Broadway. It replaced Beauty and the Beast at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater and featured Jonathan Freeman, who voiced Jafar in the movie Aladdin, as Grimsby, and was the Broadway debut for Sierra Boggess, whose background as an ice skater gave her a leg up when navigating the Heeley shoes the cast used to glide across the stage. Boggess is also known for shows like School of Rock, It Should Have Been You, and The Phantom of the Opera. New music was added for this production, and book writer Doug Wright shifted Ariel's focus from a longing for her prince to a longing for a world in which she feels truly realized in her own terms, where her ambitions are bigger than any one man. Another change in the stage version is that Ursula and Triton are brother and sister. Now, this was originally part of the story for the animated film, but it was taken out. And that brings us to May 2023 with the premiere of Disney's live-action version of the story. Director Rob Marshall is no stranger to the movie musical, having directed the film versions of Chicago, Mary Poppins Returns, and Into the Woods. While it was rumored that singer-songwriter Harry Styles might play the role of Prince Eric, ultimately it went to Jonah Howard King, as Styles seemed to pass on the role to pursue darker, non-musical film projects. Singer-songwriter Halle Bailey plays the title role of Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and like so many others, she is ecstatic about the representation in this movie. She has cited that Brandy and Cinderella and Anika Rose as Princess Tiana have been role models to her, and she considers it an immense blessing to join them as a Disney princess. The new film features a more fleshed-out role for Prince Eric, where he and Ariel are brought together by their mutual feeling of not fitting in their world. And much like the stage version, this film is more about Ariel finding freedom for herself versus just chasing a boy. This film also features new songs by Alan Menken and Broadway veteran Lin-Manuel Miranda, who brought us music from many other films, as well as theatrical hits like Hamilton and one of my personal favorites, In the Heights. And last but not least, Jodie Benson makes a cameo in the film. Let us know in the comments if you spot her or any other fun cameos or Easter eggs in the film.
And just like that, you are caught up on nearly 2 centuries of fun facts about The Little Mermaid. Congratulations. We'd love to hear your thoughts about the new live-action version. And if you are a musical theater fan, then I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join our theater family. Because at Empty Space Artistry, we make brand new theater and learn about theater in really fun ways. So we'd love for you to join us. For more fun facts from musicals you love, check out this video. Oh, and did you catch how many musical references there are? The answer's in the description. Happy hunting!